Hey YouTube, going to be changing the spark plugs on this 3.5 liter V6. So going to be working on a 2007 Chrysler 300. These 3.5 liter V6s are a lot of Chrysler cars, so should be pretty common. Cleaned up the engine before I get started, just so I got a nice area to work in. So there's going to be 6 plugs in total. There's 3 on the right side and then 3 over here. So we're going to need to take off the intake manifold in order to get to those 3 plugs. So there's going to be a couple plugs here, and then we're going to take the air filter off, a plug over here, and then we need to take off the throttle body just to clean up this guy as well. For this job, just going to need some basic hand tools. I got a flathead screwdriver for the clips, 2 socket extenders, 5/8 spark plug grabber, 10mm long socket, 15mm, and a medium ratchet. And then I'm going to have these wrenches, 5/8 or 15 and a 10mm, and then dielectric grease and anti-seize for the spark plugs. First thing we're going to want to do is take off the air filter and air box. So I'm going to undo that tube, and then this is going to be a 10mm to take off this bolt, and this should just come up and out. Then we're just going to need to unhook this wire right here and then take out this plug or this clip, and this just comes right off. So using my flathead screwdriver to undo this clip and release this guy, and then now we should be able to just pull this whole air box out. Next, there's a plug right underneath the throttle body here. Okay, so using a flathead screwdriver just because it's pretty stuck on here, just to pry it kind of off. Then this just pops off, and then just gonna want to just put this to the side. So we're going to need to get this bracket off to get the 2 bolts underneath here. The bolts behind here are also going to be 10mm. So I've got a 15mm to get this big bolt down here and take this bracket out. So I'm just going to work this off. Okay, so now you can just take this metal bracket straight off. Okay, and I got a 10mm long socket to take the rest of the bolts off. And there we go. So I'm gonna clean up this throttle body. It's pretty black on this side and has a lot of buildup. So good time to do it. So just gonna hit this with this cleaner. You can use a mass airflow cleaner, throttle body cleaner, brake cleaner. I mean, just something to kind of just get all the dirt nice and loose. And then gonna be using just a rag just to wipe it down and clean this guy up. And there we go. Much cleaner right in here. Just kind of got a lot of that black buildup taken out where it opens. Okay, so now I need to take off these electrical plugs. So using a flathead just to release the red clip, and then you just kind of pull this guy off. And then there's going to be 2 more on the intake. And then here's the last one. Just get underneath it and just pop it off. Alright, so now that we got the electrical plugs popped off, just need to use a 10mm. Gonna take out all the bolts that are in the intake. Should be 7 on this side and then 2 on the left side of it. But first, let's get these tubes off. So just using my flathead screwdriver just to get underneath it and just pry it off. It should just be able to pop all these guys off pretty easily. There's number 2. And then just the last one back here that we got to take off. Okay, so now we got to take off all the bolts. Gonna use this 10mm ratchet for the side bolts. So 5/8 or 15mm for these bottom bolts. So I'm gonna get these guys out. Just have enough room to get your hand in here and work these bigger bolts out. Once you get the bolts loose enough, you can just move this little bracket off of here and move it to the side. Okay, time to take this off. There's a tube that sticks up in the center So you're going to want to kind of take off the back part first and just work that little tube that sticks out right here, just kind of out of the way as you take this off. Almost got it, and there we go. So once you clear that, you can just pull this guy off. And there we go. So now we can get to all 6 plugs. So just gonna clean this up really good and put some paper towels in these exposed holes. And there we go. So gives a good opportunity to clean around the edges here. Just really clean this guy up before we put that intake back on. So time to get the first plug out. So this clip just pops off. And then a 10mm socket. So just take this guy off. And then we can pull the boot out. So got my 2 socket extenders in the 5/8 spark plug grabber. So just gonna work this guy out. So here's the old spark plug. So as you can see, there's no electrode left. This car has 135,000 miles and they've never been changed. So that's what will happen, is that little electrode just turns into nothing and it's hard to start. So really good thing that we're changing these guys. So what I like to use on my spark plugs, this anti-seize lubricant around just the threads here, and then this boot protector gel, just gonna go on the tip of the spark plug. Alright, got the next one out. So they're all the same, they're all very much needing to be changed. Okay, so now those are changed out. Gonna be putting the intake manifold back on. So I just need to line up all these screws and just kind of put it on the way I took it off. Final step is just to put the air box back on and tighten down all the clips and bolts. It's time for the moment of truth, so I'm gonna start this guy up. Okay, so, I mean, it might have a little bit of a rough start. Let's let this idle out. Okay, so 5 minutes later, we're right at 600 RPMs. It seems to be idling perfect. And then gonna give it some gas just to see how it goes down. And there we go. So looks good, right at 600, right where we want to be. Okay, so all put together, seems to be idling perfectly. So running great. So definitely good to get those changed out. Got this guy put back on, and hope the video is helpful. If you're changing your spark plugs on a 3.5 liter V6 Dodge Chrysler, definitely not a hard job to do and can help save you some money. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll make sure I keep uploading more videos.